Thank you guys for coming. Appreciate it. Thought Saturday's game, I thought we played a good team. It was kind of exactly what we expected, really. They came in, played a good defense, bend don't break. They played a soft cover two, and it made us execute and get the ball down the field. Which I talk about offensively first. We struggled probably the first two series of executing and getting that ball moving. And then I thought as we went along, our offensive line played very well. I thought we played physical. I thought that we continued to execute better as the game went along and the quarters went along, and against a very good defense. And I thought overall it was a good night for our offense. Defensively, I thought we came out. It's a great way to start a game out with a pick six, and then I think our defense played stingy for most of the night. Kind of exactly the same plan we kind of expected to come in. A lot of short passes, trying to get the ball out of his hands quick, and they had a little success with that. But our defense came away from huge turnovers and some huge stops at some critical times in the ball game. And it didn't play as well as I would have liked on our return units. I think we're capable of playing a lot better on our kickoff return. We had a couple missed blocks, and our punt return unit again. I thought we were capable of playing a lot better on both those teams, but our coverage units I was real pleased with. And again, for the second week in a row, our punter came in and had an opportunity early to punt backed up and did a good job of getting us out of the hole. So on those parts of things, I thought we got better as a unit, the whole team, as we went along that game. And I think it was really one of those situations where we kind of wore them down in the fourth quarter, and which I think we were still running fresh and with a lot of speed and rotating a lot of guys in and out, and it just take us, wore them down when we got that second half. But any questions about that game?
You guys have scored touchdowns on defense in 2 games in a row now. Can you kind of expand on that and how you're able to do that? And then also points off turnovers and putting your offense in.
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah, that a couple of them were just some great plays. 2 weeks ago, it's a great strip and scoop to get the ball in the end zone. This week was a great read by linebacker Drew Massey to step front pass and reading the quarterback, and he's a low hole player and stepped in front and made a nice pick. And the opposite was on the 10-yard line, so it didn't have too far to go. But those anytime if you can score on defense, that's usually a deal. Kind of seals the deal. If you can score on defense, chances are you're winning the ball games become very high. Obviously that's what. Yeah, you love the opportunity that happen every week. It's not always going to present itself, but I think if we keep on getting to the football and taking care of our job, and taking swipes at it, I think our secondary has done an excellent job, obviously, of getting picks on the first 2 ball games.
Which how in the big scheme, I know it's a game against an FBS opponent in state, but I know you have huge goals for the whole year. Where does this game kind of fit in and all of that?
Well, it's a huge game because I think the one is the recruiting ramifications, and I'm not talking about us versus Tulane. But to get down in New Orleans, to play down there with some kids get to see us play. The publicity we're getting, just by playing down there, publicity we're getting in New Orleans is always going to help us in recruiting New Orleans. So I think that part of it is going to be huge, and it's important for us to go down there and play well. Now, we can't just go play the game. We got to go down there and play well and make a statement that we're a team on a rise, and we're a good football team. It's a place where you can have an opportunity to come win a championship. And if we can say that to all the high school kids in the city of New Orleans, I think that's a pretty huge statement. So for those reasons, that's a huge game. And then obviously being so close, this is a game that we would love to be, turned into a rivalry, a game that we continue to play on a regular basis and be able to play them because it is so close. And it's easy for our fans to go to, being an hour away. I mean, I expect us to travel well and go down there, and I assume with that we're going to play in front of a sold-out stadium and a chance to pack their place.
The current contract is this year or is it another year?
It's just this year right now, yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
You would like to play every year? Right?
Yeah, I think it would be awesome. I think it would be great for us in recruiting because we want to be down in New Orleans, and there's so many of those kids down there that we want to see. And then there's plenty of kids, obviously, and when you're playing a game like this and you're going down there, I mean, they invite 100 recruits. Well, some of them, they're not taking all 100 of them. So there's 100 kids that get to watch us play. You know, whether they're there to watch Tulane or not, they're still going to get a chance to see us play down at their place. So I think it's a positive for us all the way around, and I would love to be able to play it every year.
What other FBS games do you have scheduled in future years?
Scheduled, yeah. Next year, I think we have University of Ohio, and then I think in 16 we got Oklahoma State. Yep.
So, what do you think as far as usually when in a game like this, in the past, their line has been able to, you know, to influence the game a little bit. Is that your biggest concern in a game like this? Is that Coach?
You know, when I look at them, first thing that jumps out to me is their speed on the defense side of the football. I think I think it'll be our most challenging and probably the fastest defense we've seen. You know, obviously, definitely this year. The other two don't compare to them as far as the speed factor. I think their defensive, you know, I think when you talk about the defense, there's their defensive speed. Up front, there's a couple, you know, some big guys in there. And obviously the pass rusher on the side, 48. Those guys are, you know, the players that are obviously going to, you know, we've got to find ways to handle them and keep them in check. And we've got to be able to do some things that negates their speed as well. Offensively, they got, you know, obviously a very big offensive line. But they got a couple of good running backs. They got good skill people. You know, talent-wise, this is just probably the most talented team we'll see all year long. So it's a great gauge and opportunity for us to go play somebody that, you know, that caliber of athleticism. And you know, it really comes down in those games. You got to execute. If you don't execute and you turn a guy loose, he's going to be athletic enough to make you pay the price. And those are the things that really you got to go in these games and make sure we take care of business.
Coach, if Tanner Lee, he didn't practice today, if he didn't play, how do you think that would affect the game?
If he doesn't play?
Yes.
Well, obviously the other guy is an experienced quarterback. I think, you know, last year he led him to a bowl game, so I say he's not too shabby. You know, if one, and I don't know his name, but one is an athletic quarterback. He's a bigger kid. And he throws the deep ball well, and obviously they had a lot of success doing that. I don't know how much that'll change their game plan, but I don't know. I know this. The league kid can make all the throws. He can be in the pocket. He's got a strong arm. He can be on the hash and throw the far side out, and he can do all those things that make you defense the whole field. So you know, I don't know if he's not going to play or not, but I think one of the biggest key matchups in this game is their defense versus our offense, and see how that's going to happen, pan itself out.
How important is a player like and I know it's kind of an obvious question, but a player like Bennett in a game like this, do you think your quarterback has to excel, Coach, to give you a chance in a game like this?
No, I think it's kind of the same thing we say every week. What he's got to do is be able to, you know, execute the offense. And we got playmakers. We got playmakers out there. Guys can do the things. And, you know, he got to run the offense and be efficient with it. I think if he does that, and then obviously, you know, his athletic ability will take over, and he's going to be able to make some things happen with his feet because he can. That's what an athletic quarterback brings to the table. But I think it's just more important that we just go out there and execute our offense and be efficient at the things we're doing, protect the football. I mean, you know, in games like this, especially an FBS game, you know, what you don't want to do is you can't go in and turn the ball over 3 times.
You guys have a number of FBS transfers on your roster, of course, Brian being one of them. What kind of influence can that have in a game like this?
Well, that and the fact that we've been there, and, you know, we played some FBS, and we played, you know, TCU, and we played in some big games. I mean, our guys, we're not going. They're not scared. I mean, it ain't like we're going. I expect us. I don't care who we play. I don't think we're not going to go in there and blink and worry about it. It's about us, and we got to go down there and take care of business. And I think if we do that, we'll be in great shape.
What kind of impact has Baptiste made on your defense?
He's a playmaker. You know, he's a ball hawk. He's a guy that finds his way to get around a football. He's a plays the game fast. He plays it with emotion. He plays it with a lot of speed. And he's got a nature, and he's got a natural ability to find ways to get the football. He's done that, you know, caused 3 turnovers himself in 2 ball games, and 2 great picks, and just great jobs of undercutting the route and playing the ball. And then the turnover he caused for 6 in game 1 was a huge play down in the red zone, which it was just really a huge, because he didn't just hit the guy, he punched the ball out, and which was a really heads-up smart play on his part.
Is he playing? I know he played a role last year, and he was right near the line of scrimmage, and he was kind of doing a bunch of different things. Is he kind of in that role for you, Coach?
Yeah, he's an invert for us, which we ask him to do quite a bit. You know, he's going to be close to the line of scrimmage. He's going to be able to, you know, to cover a number 2 receiver, man-to-man side guy. He's got to be able to cover that guy, man. He's got to be able to play on the half for us, and obviously we're going to blitz him as well. So it's a hybrid position for us. There's a lot of things we're asking those guys to do, and I think it plays right into obviously the type of player he is.
Coach, we saw Darius Guy go out in the second half. Comment on him and overall health.
Yeah, we're still not the full prognosis on Darius is not done. He had a CT that was good. He had an MRI. That initial readings are that he may have a dislocated vertebrae. He is seeing another doctor this afternoon, so we'll know a lot more about that later. But more likely he wouldn't play this week for sure. I don't see that. He's in a neck brace and he's very stiff and not moving. So, you know, we'll cross our fingers, hope for the most. But he won't be available this week, and he may be out for a while.
Are you able to separate that from personal feelings and all that? It's got to be hard to see the guy there. Oh
yeah, I mean, anytime you see a kid get hurt or miss game, that's the. You know, if there's a negative on in this sport, that's it. That things happen and kids get hurt. And you know, if there was a way you could put them in a bubble and they play the game and not get hurt, that'd be awesome. But it's tough to see because the kids put in so much work, and when you know, if they get an injury that. And I feel the same way about kids on the opposite team. They go down. You hate to see any player, you know, get an injury and he's going to, be out for any significant amount of time because there's so much, you put in 9 months of work to play 10 and 12 ball games, 10 or 12 Saturdays, and there's a lot of time involved in this thing. So you want them all to, be able to stay healthy. So.